Well, when I say the name Brian Burke, I'm assuming your mind goes to hockey. Burke has come at that sport from pretty much every angle, from player to league executive. He's been a scout, a Stanley Cup winning GM, a media analyst, and that's probably the Brian Burke you think you know. But there's a lot more to him than hockey, and this morning, Brian joins us to share a few of those stories from on and off the ice. Good morning to you, sir. Great to see you again.
Morning, Ben. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. So, hockey, obviously a big part of your life. But one of the things that I found really interesting about this book is when uh, you talk about what you want to be remembered for. And you say in the book that you want to be remembered for being honest and ethical, for caring about the communities in which you lived, for being a good dad, having a strong moral compass. Hockey is not on that list. How come?
Well, I used to say to my kids that when people come to your funeral, what are they going to say? What are they going to talk about? And then I stopped saying that after my son died. But really, the important things that people talk about are, did you make a difference in the city where you lived? Were you a kind person? Were you a good person? Did you do charitable work? That's a lot more important to me than talking about Stanley Cups.
The tone of the book is unapologetic, and particularly the part where strangers come up to you on the street in public and they say stuff like, "I thought you were a jerk. I heard you speak finally. It turns out I think you're a nice guy." What's your reaction to when people come up to you and say things like that?
Well, if someone comes up to me and says, I just heard you speak, I've never liked you, I always thought you were a jerk, and now I think you're a good guy. I think that's so condescending. And my ex wife used to yell at me. She'd say, you have a chance to make a friend there. Just say thank you. And what I'd say to them is, I didn't care what you felt yesterday, and I certainly don't care today. And the book's not about changing anyone's view of me. I'm trying to put people. So Stephen Brunt wrote the book with me. I said, Stephen, I want people to read it and feel like they're in the room. They're on the draft floor with me, and they feel like they're part of the experience. And I think he did that.
Well, whenever we have a Stanley Cup winner on the show, we always ask about that moment where they hoist that 35-pound cup over their head. You have a painful memory about the cup over your head, don't you?
Yeah, well, thanks for bringing that up, Ben. If you look at me holding the cup, it only weighs 35 pounds, but I'm having trouble with it. I've had shoulder surgery on both my shoulders from playing rugby, and including that spring, I had my left shoulder done. And so I had trouble lifting it up, not the weight, just getting my arms above my head.
Well, you look good doing it, I got to say. You share pictures of your children in this book. You talk about your son Brendan and his legacy. There's the You Can Play organization, which helps athletes with the coming out process. You also talk about the letters that you still get from young men who are coming out to their parents because of your son. What's it like getting those letters and still getting them today?
Yeah, I still get them fewer and fewer, more infrequently, but I still get them. But dads will write to me and say, the way you accepted your son coming out was very helpful to me accepting my son. Kids will write to me and say, the fact that Brendan came out to you and you were so supportive has given me hope. I'm going to come out to my parents now. I still get them, and they still make my day. It just makes me think of Brendan and how many lives he changed and made better. And he was a great kid, and I miss him.
Well, I'd like to end this, if we can, with some rapid fire questions, sir. I'm going to just ask you a couple of questions. Just give me like a sentence or so on all of these things. On your first day on the job as assistant GM to the Canucks, you and Pat Quinn got lost on your way to the arena?
Yes. I was mad at Pat. I said, you played here for God's sake.
You are a Harvard Law grad, and you scored in the 98th percentile in the LSATs.
Correct. 1976, fall of 1976, graduated in 1981.
And lastly, Berkey, you've got a Twitter account, but your daughter runs it for you?
Yeah, my daughter Katie takes care of my Twitter account. It is me. She posts what I tell her to, but you mix me up with a Twitter account, I'd get in trouble in a hurry if I had access to it.
Brian Burke, always a pleasure to talk to you. Congratulations on the new book, and all the best to you and yours.
Thanks very much, Ben.
The book is called Burke's Law.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.